And welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for September 21st, Monday, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. Maybe you've heard this or maybe haven't, but the divine isness is the most accepting, healing, forgiving energy one could imagine. And the isness is the source of deep eternal love, which when even momentarily welcomed, we instantly feel the most profound ecstatic joy inside our hearts. Knowing that we are eternal spiritual beings moves through us throughout the day like a healing river of liquid, eternal liquid love. And the very second that we surrender our hearts to just the idea of an eternally loving isness, we immediately find genuine, real peace, a sense of bliss, and a feeling of real satisfaction that cannot be compared. Knowing this isness is our basic nature, our natural state of being, we start radiating like the sun, and we start shining our own spiritual essence into everyone in our lives. Excuse me. Now, the only reason that any of us may not believe and know that God is right here within the very center of our bodies, soul, and heart right now is because of one thing blocking the way. Our overly busy, demanding, controlling, and desiring mind. And as long as that mind is wanting something, willing something, thinking it is lacking something, trying to reach a better place other than the great isness that's here now, we will easily miss our spiritual path. And we will find ourselves living in thoughts about God instead of experiencing the real divinity. And if we get too lost in the head, we might end up walking into some highly intellectual, materialistic, and spiritually dry future. The God source is infinitely complex, yet it's deeply simple. God is actually quite easy to experience. The trick is learning what it takes to fully be here now. To feel the divine isness, we choose first to begin feeling whatever it is up for us in this moment. And we choose to explore how we can let go of the mind and open ourselves up emotionally. Instead of feeling everything that is here now. And when we call off the mental search looking for God out there, and simply feel into the core essence of our being, we find that we have been the ones who were hiding and protecting ourselves from the divine. You imagine that many of us protect ourselves from the divine. And God has always been here, is always here, radiating within every atom in existence. As we drop deeper beneath the thinking mind and through our blocked emotions, we discover the greatest source of peace, silence, and stillness. And this is where God abides. When you are still, know that you are God. When you are still, you will then know that you are God. And perhaps one of the most radical truths discovered about this human existence, this mankind existence, is this. We are other. So we're either existing in some form of suffering or living in some form of bliss. We are either in one or the other. We are not in both. We are either living up in our head or we are in the heart of God. Once we quiet the mind and open our hearts together, we can live a balanced life in both realms of head and heart. Doing this, we then start merging with the infinite mind of God. If we can remain in this balance 24 hours a day, that's the big question. If so, we can master this lifetime. Then every thought we think, as we know, creates into reality and forming our living reality. So it manifests creating our living reality. And by living in constant emotional connection with the divine from our core, we become a living, bliss-breathing manifestation machine, perpetually creating every beautiful idea we feel and focus upon. Now, isn't there not many things guaranteed in life? Yet one thing that is 100% guaranteed is this. At some point, we are going to return to God. It will happen either when our bodies are still alive or when our bodies stop breathing. Eventually, we will all feel intimately connected with God again. So there's no reason to worry about when or how, because all roads lead back to God. And the path ahead and the past behind you both lead back to God. God is unavoidable because our past and future are just mental concepts which only exist within this living present moment. Now, our minds alone are always blind to the divine. And it is only with a quiet, surrendered mind that we may access an open, receptive heart which can see God in everyone and everything. Now, if you went out there today and you try to say, well, I'm going to see God in everyone and everything, that's a good start. But remember that our minds alone are always blind to the divine. And it is only when we decide with a quiet, surrendered mind that we may access an open, receptive heart which can see God in everyone and everything. The mind just doesn't want to realize how ignorant it actually is. It doesn't want to see how powerless and unfulfilled and trapped it is, as this would cause a huge embarrassment to the ego. When we spiritually wake up, the mind will realize its petty search in the outer world, excuse me, to find everlasting satisfaction is spiritually fruitless. Only when the mind surrenders to the God do we discover what absolute bliss feels like. Otherwise, our minds will continue to persist in their addictive habits of seeking fulfillment in the outer world. It will ignore seeing how true bliss is available here and now, as it needs to continue its addictive search for years, for decades, and for lifetimes. And the mind is always trying to get its desires met by people, food, substances, money, ideas, and is in the habit of constantly yearning for something. Have you ever found yourselves not yearning for anything? Genuinely not yearning for anything. Yet, as we all know, once the mind gets what it wants, it's happy for a short while. Isn't that true? Isn't it? When we get what we want, how happy and for how long are we? How happy and for how long are we when we get what we want? happy for a short while. And we're back on the hamster wheel again, searching for fulfillment again. And the mind is deeply unaware that it can never, ever, ever, ever be truly satisfied. Now, isn't it interesting how many of us don't acknowledge that? We just keep blindly moving forward. We all know that there's no mistakes. And it's good to know that whatever happens in our lives, there really are no mistakes. God is an infinitely positive, creative energy, and this fierce force does not know what a mistake is. So every mistake that we perceive to be real or true is simply the mind forming another judgment. There is universal right or wrong book. There is universal right or wrong book. There is only deeper shades of truth in which each higher layer only reveals a lighter perspective on our enlightening mission we are here to learn and experience. Or experience and learn. Now, how many of the prophets that you know of, that you've read about, how many of them were able to identify and embrace, to find the God source inside of them 24 hours a day? How many do you really think were successful in doing that? Now, once we understand that this is the only thing which truly satisfies, it's the only thing that truly satisfies. Everything else falls vastly short. Feeling into your own personal, intimate connection with the divine is the most important thing that we can do with our time each day. Everything else we do is going to be the ego seeking some form of gratification, which of course will not last. Beware of the ego, as it is easily caught in complaints, negativity, creating problems that weren't there before. Your only job is to move beyond your ego. Transcend your small self and step into the big self that you truly are. And when you finally surrender to God at the center of your soul, will you know without a doubt that you have just discovered the most amazing experience of coming home. All of us have been away from home for a very, very, very long time. And we have been occupied with externality, our egos and minds that constantly are directing us for more and more and more. And no matter how much you have, no matter how much you seek out, you are always seeking more in some way, shape, form, or another. We talk about paradise, right? Paradise is not somewhere that we need a map to reach. We are in paradise because we have only fallen asleep. All that is needed is an awakening. Osho. Paradise is we already are in it. And we have been for a long time. But the obstacle is that we've been asleep the whole time. We all live in cages of some type, shape, or form. When we feel disconnected from our spiritual nature, anything or anyone can feel like a prison. Perhaps our physical body. I know a lot of people whose physical body is their prison. I know a lot of people whose financial situation is their prison. Emotions, spouses, or even our own limiting personality can make us feel stuck and trapped. The good news is that whatever cage are locked up in actually does have a key. The key is sitting there, resting inside the lock, ready to be turned. And when we have had enough suffering and are ready to set our spirit free once again, turning that key simply manifests, creates into reality on its own after understanding a few basic principles about what real freedom is and what it is not. So being totally wild and absolutely free is not some radical, rebellious, or disrespectful approach to life. It is also not about conquering some controlling authority out there who is dictating the rules on how we should and shouldn't live our lives. Please understand, none of us ever need permission from anybody else to create into reality, to manifest the life we want to create. And real liberation in this life is not a pushing away to find freedom from someone or from something. It is more peaceful than that. It's about finding that which is already free inside us to be. Do and believe whatever we want. Especially during this time on this planet. Real freedom is about recognizing how we already are the final word and ultimate authority of our lives. We already are. It is knowing that what we honestly believe is what becomes real. And this is the end truth and final reality. You know, I think a lot of people allow that to sink in for themselves. It's what we honestly believe. That's what becomes real. It doesn't matter what's outside, what we're looking at, or anything. It's what knowing that what we honestly believe is what becomes real. And a lot of us go, well, you know, that's not really true. That doesn't, you know, so I believe this, but it doesn't become real. Well, because you negate it. This is the end truth and final reality. You can debate it all you want with yourself. But in the long run, it's going to reveal it to you. There are over 8 billion different realities on the planet now. And we are one of them. Okay? Each of us are one of them. The moment we choose to believe we can be a wild, fully self-expressed, fun-free being is the exact same moment where we realize that we already are the absolute final authority of our lives. We are the absolute final authority of our lives. Do you feel that frequency? You see the wave through the heart? To know it is true? Right down to your very core, your very being. Each of us are the final authority of our lives. Absolute final authority of our lives. The truth is that we are already constantly creating into reality, manifesting everything in our lives. Wherever we place our attention for an extended period of time is where our energy flows, and that is what we create into our reality. We're already one with the great God source. All of us. You're not. You never have been. And it is creating everything around us through us. It's the only way. It's creating everything around us through us. Our greatest freedom comes from understanding this, surrendering to this truth, and feeling how it shows up in every single thing we do. Every action we take in life is an expression and extension of our consciousness. Whatever you are feeling about yourself and life is emanating energy out into the world around you. And nothing and no one is separate from each other. We are all impacting each other all the time. By becoming more sensitive to this truth, it becomes obvious how our own limiting beliefs are imprisoning us and stopping us from living the amazing life we were created to exist in and experience. It's imperative. Dalai Lama said it really good. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. The greatest transformations in life often show up in the most subtle and gentle forms. It is vital that we all first see where the prisons exist in our lives and understand how each one is sustained each day in order to demolish it from our own minds. And initially, we may not see the prison walls around us because we are so used to them. You get so used to these prison walls, you don't even know they're there. And it's like an invisible cell bars are all limiting, skeptical, doubtful, and negative beliefs we carry each day. And it is a long, compromising list of constrictive ideas that we tell ourselves who we are and what is impossible to achieve. So only us, we can give ourselves permission to be totally wild and absolutely free, and that starts with finding and releasing every limiting belief. Every limiting belief, which each of us are clinging to, that makes us feel not so expansive and free. Find those heavy negative thoughts, which you honestly feel are true and real about yourself, yet also make you feel sick, stuck, heavy, and very unhappy. Let them go. Really, they're just ideas which no longer serve your greatest good. Now, to many it may sound ridiculously simple. Yet, when we reach down into the core of us, each of us, we'll find that the truth is that we are the God source itself. We are the God source itself, making up all the rules as we go. And that is all there is. That's it. When we are ready to empower ourselves, create into reality, manifest the most amazing life, we'll discover this truth. And then life just naturally becomes easier, more magical, and amazing. So many of us are attached to limiting beliefs and heavy thoughts. So stop being attached to all of our limiting beliefs and heavy thoughts. We must deeply desire to be free. We choose. We must feel into our suffering inside in order to let it go. There must be a visceral feeling in the body of the stuckness first in order for the release to be real. Then, we must choose to continuously step back from it and see how every apparently good and bad belief we had about who we are fall into the pile of small limiting beliefs. And we must choose to leave behind all beliefs to be free, and to let go of all of our disappointments, hopes, and fears if we want to truly start living, because attachment to any belief will create some form of future suffering. Attachment. any belief will create some form of future suffering. We must choose to live life as if everything could end tomorrow, and also be this eternal spiritual being who knows that nothing could ever destroy us. You see? Live life as if everything could end tomorrow, and also be this eternal spiritual being who knows that nothing could ever destroy us. This is each of our lives. So we choose to live it to the max. We don't know exactly how long we're going to be around in these bodies. The universe has given us a mouth to smile with, a body to enjoy. Do not waste a day that you are here on this beautiful planet. Go outside. Live your life totally, fully, and truly. Do whatever you can to feel what it's like to be totally freed from the good and bad opinions of others. Try it for this week of your life. Imagine how it might feel in your bodies to be completely, truly, and honestly free from everyone's thoughts, opinions, and judgments of you. No matter what anyone says. It could be your mom, your dad, some stranger, anyone. Does not reflect in any way who or what you are at all. Instead, we realize that the divine, infinite, spiritual being, who we are, all truly are, is beyond all thought and all concepts completely. The non-attachment to others' opinions of you is one of the most self-loving, natural, and honorable ways that any of us can live each day. This is the golden key that turns the lock to realizing at the core who and what we are is already powerful, is already divine, is already magnificent spiritual being. And this spirit and soul, who we really are in essence, is always free. Take the task to get to know your basic spiritual nature. Feel the essence of your infinite spirit inside. This is something that cannot be contained, imprisoned, nor taken away by anything or anyone in the outer world. And realizing this is real freedom. And the spirituality, the spiritually free feeling, is our natural state of being. All exploration and all expression from this place is the most loving act that we can give to ourselves and others. And the full expression of our real spiritual nature is the deepest gift we can give. And it is the greatest honoring of who we truly are. Now, many of us may think that becoming a wildly liberated mankind being is not the top priority on our to-do list this week. Yet, if it's not in here somewhere, you definitely aren't going to enjoy doing anything on that list of yours. Without wild freedom, your entire life becomes a chore, a burden, and a heavy job that must be accomplished just so that you get your wants and needs met. If you don't stop this nonsense and turn that golden key to unlocking spiritual freedom, you will miss out on the main core purpose of your existence, your life, which is to enjoy the short time you are here and alive. It is only by experiencing truth on your own freedom happens. Your own freedom happens. It is only by experiencing truth. Freedom is the fragrance of the experience of truth. And this is it right here. Right? So, the first basic step to freedom is learning how to continuously let go of what others think of you 24 hours a day. This is the main step into it. This means is releasing what you think your immediate friends, family, coworkers, and lovers think about you. Honestly, do you know exactly what goes on in their minds? When you drop what you think their opinions are of you, you can actually release whatever your opinions are about you. And as long as you are attached to what anyone thinks about you, you will never be able to be totally free from what your mind thinks, believes, and perceives about you. Do not be a judge-aholic. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. First thing that we desire to do, relax our bodies. Head to toe, inside and out. Let it just literally fly off of you. Anything that you've attracted, anything that's on your mind, in your ego, anything that's bugging you, burdening you, stressing you, pulling you, let go. It's not doing you any good at all. Never did it? Never did. Never has. It just makes you feel dank and heavy, dragging through the mud and torrential rainfall. So we relax the body, head to toe, inside and out. You're the God. You are the power. You can do anything. The only restrictions that you have are on yourself. Period. Any of us. So head to toe, the body says, thank you, I'll relax. Then we move into the now. And the now is all we have. Moment to moment. Period. Do you really want to go into a future and keep worrying about something that isn't even there? It hasn't even come? Or do you want to really live in the past that's gone, long gone? It's not coming back? That's where all of the fears and irritations and stresses come from, either the future or the past. It's crazy. So in the now, we still the mind, the ego, the subconscious. We leave the mind. We're in the heart mind. Now, some of us will go in the past. Well, all of us do. We reminisce, right? But some of us will stay there too long. And then what happens if we stay there too long, we end up bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating the past from that, creating a future from that past, reliving that past and that future. Do you want to be on a hamster wheel forever? So we're in the now. Stilling the mind. Actually, we leave the mind in the now. And remember, the mind is like a judge-aholic, along with the ego. Then, as we relax the body and we're in the now, we want to breathe. We want to breath in through our noses and out through our mouths. This is divine positive energy. Feel it as you breath in, as it fills the lungs, oxygenates the body. It's a blissful feeling if you allow it. And it joins the chi, the godlike energy, the ki, the prana. And we bring it up through the centers of our bodies, through the chakras. These are energy vortexes. They connect from the spiritual to the physical, back from the physical back to the spiritual. They are literally conduits, wheels of light. And we are like a spring, a fountain. And all that frequency energy comes up through the center. It literally cascades down around us and back up and through us and around us. It's perpetual. And as we do this, we bring in the divine positive energy, our chi, our life force, our root chakra through the red wheel of light, the Muladhara. This is our career money mindset and sense of belonging. And it represents our foundation of feeling of being grounded in the location, the base of the spine and tailbone area. Emotional issues, connections, survival issues, such as financial independence, money, and food. Physical associations, spine, rectum, legs, arms, circulatory system. All of these chakras are different flowers with different geometrical shapes in the centers. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, sacral chakra, the Vadasthana. This is our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. Now, obviously, if you're flowing without obstruction, you aren't concerned about what anybody thinks, feels of you at all, even yourself. And this is in our lower abdomen, about 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in. And it's a sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, and sexuality are our emotional issues or connections. And our physical associations, reproductive organs, kidneys, bowels, and immune system. Now, our solar plexus chakra, which is the golden yellow wheel of light, the Manipura, this is our ability to be confident and in control of our lives, to flow effortlessly. Upper abdomen and the stomach area. Emotional issues, self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. Why would any of us have self-esteem low issues? Why would we? Physical association, central nervous system, pancreas, liver, digestive tract, skin. Then we move into the emerald green wheel of light, the Anahata. This is our ability to love. Why would we not be able to love when we are love? Well, you got to have and choose to have a discussion with your mind and your ego. Center of the chest, just above the heart. Emotional issues, love, joy, and inner peace. Physical association. Heart, thymus, lower lung, circulatory system, immune system. Then we move to the blue wheel of light of Vishuddha. This is our ability to communicate, self-expression. It's in our throat. Emotional issues are communication, self-expression, feelings, and truth. You have a tough time communicating or expressing yourself of your feelings, the truth. It's all connected with you in that chakra. Physical association, thyroid, respiratory system, teeth, and vocal cords. Your third eye chakra, your ajna. This is the indigo wheel of light. It's our ability to focus on and see the big picture. It's in forehead between the eyes. Call it the brow chakra. Emotional issues, intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions. Physical association, pituitary gland, eyes, sinuses. Then the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. The highest chakra, the violet wheel of light, represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually to the God within us. To the God within us. We are God's source. It's at the very top of our heads. Its emotional issues are inner and outer beauty, our connection to spirituality and pure bliss. Physical association, pineal gland, brain, nervous system. We bring all this wonderful frequency and energy all the way through the vortexes, the energy vortexes, our chakras, the chi, the prana, the divine positive energy, the breath. We bring it all the way up to the top of the head, a little bit back. And then we condense it, we hold it. Just briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. And in that brief moment, we condense and compress it into liquid energy, pure liquid energy, omnipotently powerful, cannot be measured. And we release it over our pineal glands. Now you can see the pineal gland as a prune, a raisin, a pine cone. I look at it as a rosebud, green ball. Once I release this pure liquid energy over it, it becomes fully aware, alive. And it's a beautiful rose that just blossoms in full bloom, and it has multicolored petals, and it's vibrating and sending out beautiful soft waves, beautiful fragrance. eternally. Now, this pineal gland is very important to all of us while we're in these bodies, because it's the gateway to all the particles of existence. It's the gateway to pure consciousness, the God beyond. And it's been hammered, and they've done everything they can to keep it suppressed and shrunk and calcified, fluoridated, and malfunctioning, suppressed. Unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. So, we change it to full function. Then it opens up all the gateways for us, effortlessly. So you're within the God that you are. You travel effortlessly to all the gateways, through them all, through pure consciousness, through all existence and existence, everywhere you choose. We're also consciously aware that each and every one of us are of the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. Why do I repeat this so much? Figure that out for yourselves. Why do I repeat it so often? We're also merged with our God, the God within us, the pure consciousness, the essence, the core of our being. The heart, mind, the spirit, the soul, the higher self, all pieces, all facets of the God, the one, which resides in each and every one of us. God-man. The God is within mankind. It will never be outside. Somewhere outside, out there. We have others with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. And this is why we don't see them like we see each other. But we meet them. We meet them a lot in this life. All lives, all existence. And when we do, it's like old home week. The only time, usually when they're gone, after that the interaction, then we say, there was something different about that. Now, you don't normally say that when you're meeting with people you know and that type of thing. But you do when you meet with the angels. And it is only and always wonderful, blissful. A large number of them can surround any one of us in the thousands at any time. Because of the vibrational frequency, they can literally take up small space in large number. They've been assisting us, we've been assisting them. We are them, they are us. We have the ascended masters. The archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes, are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. We have the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pell and Thoth. Many, many, many more. Who are they? They are us. We are them. They've mastered ascension out of body, hold pure consciousness God form. We are mastering physical experience and physical body. They've mastered, we're mastering. Some of the things that we've mastered, they're mastering. It goes hand in hand. They are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we're all together. And we're the primer to call out to all pieces and facets and reflections of all of us, existence and existence, to join us in this meditation. And this now forming the circle of light. So we call out to all light energy beings who are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And they're consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex feels this universe. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes from every direction. And they're all with us, all of us now. And we are them, and they are us. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. Many, many, many civilizations and species. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in forming the circle of light. And they, all of them, are with us now. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light. And they've been with us and have assisted us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We're only familiar with a handful of them. And this includes all the species and levels of the ones that we're somewhat familiar with. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. You have the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Zeta Reticuli, the Feline, Gray, the Nord, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian. In all civilizations, in all existence, some choose to be low frequency, others choose to be high frequency. And only those in this gathering of all high frequency, because they must be consciously aware to be with us. And if they aren't with us. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. Call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those that are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have been housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, this meditation forming the circle of light. They come in the trillions, and we only see maybe 1% of them in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and from, and be with us in this meditation, and this now, in the forming of the circle of light. And just to name a few of them, fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. They come in the trillions, and they are with us now. And we are all gathered for the liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, which is also the liberation of each and every one of us on the discovery that we are the God. Arm in arm, hand in hand, all of our gods together. we are in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, forever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We form a circle of light. It is the core essence of our being, the God. This light is so intense and so bright that it grays out the darkness of space. It would take well over 1 billion of the suns in this solar system to even compare to its brilliance. And we flood everything and everything on this planet. All of us gathered here in this meditation for this liberation, inside and out, head to toe, all of our brothers and sisters, all existence within existence, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation, this circle of light, we begin to levitate above the planet. As we do this, we are met with a gossamer field. It's massive. These are little teeny mirrors reflecting trillions of vibrantly colored lights. And it's all in a love pattern and saturation. It is the reflections and assets and aspects of all of us together. It's magnificent, magna-glorious. And as we do this, we're met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds each and every one of us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column that reminds us that each and every one of us are imbued with a completely impenetrable armor. The core being, the essence of each and every one of us, the God within us. We form this armor around us. It is of the highest high frequency of deep, eternal love and gratitude. Nothing externally can penetrate it. It never has and it never will. Any power, external power, anything externally cannot even scratch it. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, you will create a breach in that white fire armor. You will then allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. And you are met with the purple transmuting flame. And this column reminds each and every one of us we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. If this happens and we so decide to do it, we can transmute those lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance and send them back to pure consciousness where they're no more. Then we're met with the violet ray. This is a column that reminds each and every one of us we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, purifying and cleansing and harmonizing our vibrational frequencies, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our highness of deep eternal love. Then we're met with a golden, pink, white light. This column reminds us that we are the sunsets. We are the sunrises. We are the waters. We are the air. We're the fire. We're the ether. We're the rainbows. We are paradise. We are heaven that walks this earth. We are the divine of you levitate above the planets, step outside our physical forms and float effortlessly above them. As we do this, we come upon this massive crystalline light tower that we created. It's larger than the solar system. We look inside of it and we see this beautiful, it's an oblong aura. It's got golden white light in the center, and it has trillions of vibrant light that are emanating out in these beautiful soft waves of color, and they're flooding each and every one of us in the deepest of eternal love and gratitude and the gods that we are. It's absolutely stupendous. It's eternal. All of our brothers and sisters, everything and everything. Then we look at the top, we design the top of it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees eternally. And that's what it's doing. You can see this golden ocean. You see the gossamer field. You see the circle of light. You see all of these reflective mirrors, all the love that we are, all of the God that we are, flooding and saturating everything and everything, shifting the entire existence into higher frequency. We are all drops of that golden ocean, and we all are the essence of that ocean. And then we look and see the meditative sphere that we created well over 2 years ago, holding over 1,000 of our meditations from all of us, from all existence and existence. Every day we gather here for the liberation of this planet. And this is why it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, forever, beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. It's magnificent. It is created by the gods within each and every one of us. It is everywhere. And then you, all of us, become clear. We become completely clear that none of us will be judge-aholics, that none of us will be judging, comparing, and labeling something or someone and then changing our minds again and judging again and again and again. Our freedom is discovering, our total freedom is discovering the God source within each and every single one of us. We are the God source. We are the God. We're pure consciousness. And the whole reason we're in these physical forms is to discover that. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close us out. remember something through this day and through the evening and night and following morning, deep down in each and every one of us, this life is more humorous and ironic than we realize. And each of us, whether we know it or not, are creating all of our suffering and joy all day long, every day. We are responsible for it all. The irony is that each day along this lifelong journey, at the very core of our being is a river of perpetual loving, creative energy, overflowing with deep healing peace. And we don't have to go anywhere to find it.